YouTube. All right, so I got a question from one of the viewers on electric choke. How does it work? What's the deal? How's it wired? And things to that effect. So I'll give you a quick rundown on the electric choke models. That's pretty consistent for all of the towers of power, 6-cylinder, 4-cylinder, 3-cylinder. I'm not sure if this is on some of the smaller displacements. I think those usually have just a manual choke, but the hardware is pretty much the same for the ones that are common. And I'll just show you what that is and how it's wired. So you take the cover off of your outboard and you'll notice there is a plunger right here. So that's a manual choke provision. So if you're back by the motor and you want to choke it, you can do it manually. If you pull up on this guy, you'll see it's connected by a small metal rod that basically attaches to both of your carburetors or 3 of your carburetors if you have a 6-cylinder, and you pull up on that and it closes the butterflies, and it's spring loaded so it returns in the open position. So these are, I don't want to say they're delicate, but make sure that these are in good working order and that you have good spring return, because what can happen is that if that spring is weak, you can actually have these like partially overlapping the venturis on your carburetors, and that will give you a bog condition. So be mindful of that. The electric part of this, which is helm controlled, is basically just a solenoid. So there's a small metal magnetic rod or pin that fits up in the center of this. It's just an electromagnet, and that is cable connected to that same linkage that I just mentioned. So this rod, I can get my hands in here, this rod right here, this has further down the line, this has a small cable connection that goes to this as well. So you can essentially pull the rod either manually with this, or you'll see, as I pull it up, you'll see that rod suck up inside that solenoid, right? So the magnet pulls up into the solenoid. So you can pull the rod by two areas, okay? Really simple, 1-wire connection, that's it. It uses cowl ground. All this does is it takes switched voltage. So this isn't hot all the time. This is only active when your ignition is in the on-run position. Takes that voltage, which is just 12 volts, energizes the coil, and that's it. And it just takes it right to ground through your engine case. Okay. The wire is typically gray, so you'll have a gray wire at your control head and a gray wire in your engine harness. This goes to pin B, I believe, on type 3 ignitions or type 3 wiring diagrams. But I think in most cases, it's just the gray wire for most of the typical factory wiring, right? That goes back through your main plug. Pin B comes back through your boat side harness, and there's a breakout up at the control box. Depending on what you're running, either a Mercruiser or an aftermarket like me, there's a gray wire inside of there that gets connected. So it's just a push switch. It's like a momentary supervised push switch. You'll notice keys in the off position, nothing is happening. In the on position, you'll hear it cycle. Okay, so I'll just give you a shot of what that looks like. As you push that in, energizes the coil, closes the choke. It's as simple as that. So if you want to choke when you're starting, it's pretty simple. You just push it in, crank it. Hope that helps. If you have any more questions, or if you want to know more about it, any other details, just shoot me a note. Let me know what you want to see. I'd be glad to help. Happy boating, everybody.